Was it tough not playing Friday night?
It is, but I get reminded it's going to be a long season. 17 games it's going to be long. So I was just trying to take mental reps, and just kind of put myself in those shoes and pretend like I was out there. But it was fun. It was good to see those guys play.
Were you listening to everything while it was going on?
Yeah, just making sure I had the calls down, going through the whole process of just, pretending like I was out there.
Does it feel real now that camp's over and now you're gearing up for week one? Is there a little bit of a different mindset or approach for you, going into your first year?
I'd say same mindset all around. I feel like it's been kind of real the whole time, as far as just understanding that this is the NFL and you gotta attack it every single day because it's it's a grind, it's a tough process, and you could have a couple good days and then have a bad day. You just gotta keep stacking the days and just understand that you gotta bring it every single day.
What are some things that, obviously now you guys are in the game plan for Carolina, so what are some things that you're going to be looking for in preparation to go against Carolina?
Yeah, obviously, strengths, weaknesses, where we feel like we can attack. We start to implement a game plan, where we kind of feel like plays will work for us, what kind of coverage they're going to throw at us, and then we start breaking down situation, how they react to certain situations. They bring pressure, they drop guys, you start to just kind of pick up on some of those little things. And further throughout the week, we'll start to just kind of dial some of those things in, and that's kind of how the game plan goes.
Justin Fields was saying that it didn't feel too fast for him in the NFL. To us, it didn't look like it felt too fast for you. I was wondering, in preseason games, did it feel like a big speed up from college, or did it feel pretty comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a difference for sure, but I wouldn't say as far as processing goes, it's I wouldn't say it's slow for us necessarily, but it's definitely not anything we're not used to. And I think it's just because we get put in these practice environments and we're able to, kind of get used to the speed of our defense first, and then you get into those joint practices, you're used to get used to the speed of those guys. And so I kind of feel like it all kind of levels itself out, and we all kind of just keep getting used to playing in the NFL, and eventually the game will keep slowing down for us as we keep going.
Now that you've been preseason, I mean, was there one thing you learned, and was there one thing you were happy about that you were able to do?
Yeah, I don't know if I could point to one specific thing that I've learned. I feel like I learned a whole bunch, just as far as my routine, I think is always big, as far as just kind of how you get yourself ready to play, what things you feel like you need, what things you don't, how you're going to warm yourself up, and then those preseason games, you kind of use that to tweak it each week and kind of find what you want to do. And then things I want to just keep getting better at is just the operation, making sure I'm, commanding the huddle, getting guys in and out, and then of course just moving the team up and down the field, avoiding turnovers, avoiding negative plays. There's always so much you can work on.
Obviously, now going into the regular season, teams are gonna when they disguise things, they're gonna sometimes try to confuse things of that nature. So when you see something pre-snap and then it changes post-snap, what is going to be like? What are some natural reactions that you'll be able to have to be able to, react out of that and try to? My question's all over the place, but
no, I know what you mean. No, I know what you mean. So
Yeah.
so really, pre-snap, post-snap indicators, and really for us, it's you give yourself an idea of what's going to be the best in that situation, and then you have to be able to give yourself a key once the ball is snapped to glance, whether it's a safety, a backer, a leverage, a technique by somebody that's telling you and confirming that what you saw pre-snap is there. And if it's not, then you got to be able to react. You got to be able to tell yourself, hey, I'm expecting this, but now all of a sudden after the snap, safety rolls down. Now what am I going to do with the ball? Now what's the next step? And you kind of just got to plan that ahead. And as game prep goes on, and we throw down our exact plays that we're going to run in the game, then you got to go through every situation of what could happen in those plays just so you got that down.
We were talking to Coach Sala before practice. He said the NFL schedule makers have a good sense of humor, throwing you guys up against Sam Darnold week one. I'm wondering, did you get a chuckle out of that when you realized you were going to go against the guy who had this job right before you?
Yeah.
And I assume you've seen some footage of Sam watching film of your offensive playmakers last year. Or what are your thoughts on going head-to-head against the guy who had this job last year?
Yeah, it's typical by the NFL, but it's exciting. I mean, that's what people want to watch, right? That's what people want to see, and we're in the entertainment business, and that's what's fun, and it's fun for us as well. I'm sure Sam's excited as well, and he's a great player, and I'm just excited to go out there and play those guys. It's going to be a good matchup, and I'm excited for him as well.
How different is it going to be when you get there? Because everything we see out here that we saw there, it's pretty much script, right? And your thing is being able to do stuff off script. How different is it going to be? How much better is that going to be for you?
Yeah, we'll see. I hope I can just be a guy that stays in the pocket 100% of the time and just get the ball out of my hands and make plays and throw, but stuff's going to happen in games. Pocket's going to break down. They're going to give us a defense that maybe our plays don't work against, and I'm going to have to figure out how to get out, dirt the ball, extend something, and then be aggressive down the field but not turn the ball over. Understand when to take that risk, maybe go run for a first down. That kind of stuff's going to really come into play once we get into real games.
Just going to add, Robert has praised your process. He's used that term a lot throughout camp and just like raved about that. Some of your teammates and Mike LaFleur also talking about that, how you approach your preparation and go through that. Was that something coming in that you made a conscious effort to do, as like you have to focus on the process, or is that just something you've been able to do through college to now? Like, what's that process been like?
Yeah, I did the same thing in college. I just felt like the process of just understanding, how to get better is so important. It's one of the most important things as far as just, approaching every single day with the mentality of how can I fix some of the mistakes already made. Don't make the same mistake twice. And then, game preparation I feel like is also part of my process. I felt like I had a good plan. I don't know how veteran quarterbacks do it in the NFL, but I kind of found something that worked for me as far as just making sure I get on the tape and I sort cut-ups into a certain way, and I watch games early in the week. I start to get more cut-ups in situation as the week goes on, and I kind of have a process of just overloading information as the week goes, and then the end of the week my process is, okay, now how can I give myself 1 to 2 things that's going to simplify the game for me, and it's going to tell me exactly what's going on by one thing, because you sit here and you have all day to diagnose what's going on, right? But on the field you got a couple seconds, and you don't want to be sitting out there and overthinking anything. So it's like, how can I just simplify? And that's part of my process, is taking all this information and simplifying it.
When did that start for you? Like, when did that click that was how you had to approach things?
Yeah, just through time I started just to understand that that was something that worked for me. Every week in college I was coming up with something maybe new that I thought helped me or didn't, and then I get here and I'm going to keep learning new stuff, I'm sure, as my process keeps going on, but that's what I felt like has worked for me.
For decades, it's kind of been like, okay, a rookie quarterback's going to struggle. Everybody understands that. It's all about learning, getting better. And then the last couple of years, like Baker Mayfield had a great rookie year. Justin Herbert blew up the NFL last year. Has that changed? That the expectations have kind of changed. Do you feel that at all, or is that what they did not relevant at all to what you do?
No, I mean, it's not relevant at all. I mean, but to an extent, I have confidence in myself and this team, and I shouldn't just tell myself, oh, there's going to be rookie mistake. There is, but you can still do well with rookie mistakes. You can still learn from those, and you can make a mistake in a game but still finish strong and just move on. And I think that kind of just goes back to playing every single play at a time and not looking too far ahead, and just not being gun shy and all that kind of thing, and just making sure you just keep going with everything.
That some of these guys you've gotten close with will no longer be with you after Tuesday?
Yeah, it is weird. It is a weird thing. It's something I've never really experienced before. Already seen some guys out of the locker room, and it's strange because you don't really say, hey, we want to welcome this new teammate and we got rid of this guy. It's a strange process how you all of a sudden just see someone else in the locker room and you're like, well, he's gone. What happened? And it's a business for sure. And guys, just got to take care of their opportunities and everything that's going on. But it's part of the game. It is.
Obviously, a big matchup this week is going to be next week is going to be your receivers versus their cornerbacks, because they have some good corners, some talented corners. So what are some of the keys to making sure that, because you have some good receivers, that you all are able to execute against their defensive backs?
Yeah, really, it's winning the one-on-one. I think that kind of goes back to just beating the man in front of you, and the scheme is going to help us a lot. I think we got a great scheme, and it's gonna bail us out a lot of the time. But it really comes down to winning your one-on-one. Whether it's me and I'm trying to beat some linebacker I'm looking off, or Corey's got to win on his outside one-on-one, and the whole line's got to win their one-on-ones with their blocks, and it just comes down to kind of who wants it more. And the same thing goes with the defense. That's really what football comes down to, is winning your matchup.